Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, dwyervip.com, on Roku, Dwyer Boxing and Sports News. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Let's talk again about Andre Berto versus Floyd Mayweather. Right now, I have a prior video up on this fight. There were rumors that this fight was going to be announced, and it has been announced. I believe Mayweather wins this fight, as he has every other fight in his career. Only this fight has a wrinkle. I believe the reason why Mayweather picked this opponent is because, number one, this opponent is media friendly. There's talk that this fight might be televised on regular TV. Right? You can't have really dodgy guys on regular TV because advertisers will then feel a little queasy. Right? So, understand who Andre Berto is. Decorated amateur. Understand Berto is one of the good guys in boxing. When Haiti had an earthquake, Andre Berto, who's of Haitian descent, stopped his career. Literally had a lot of money on the table. Stopped his career because helping people in Haiti was more important than making that next dollar. Right? Andre Berto is a guy who's very philanthropic. Right? Behind the scenes, he really is the kind of guy who is a great ambassador for the sport of boxing. Right? Let me say, too, that I heard through the grapevine, we'll just leave that vague and ambiguous by design. I heard through the grapevine that Berto is the kind of guy who walks around to other fighters and who actually starts talking about the finances of boxing, the kinds of deals that other fighters have gotten from their boxing managers. In other words, Berto is actively engaged in his career. He's not a guy who has given the wheel to the car that is his career to someone else. Right? No, Andre Berto is a guy who literally is reading the contract along with you. Right? Very savvy. But understand, in my opinion, the real reason Mayweather has signed up to fight Berto is a fight style decision. About 2 years ago, Andre Berto had surgery on his right shoulder. Now, if you look at Berto's record, we're going to play Columbo here. If you look at Berto's record, you're going to find out that he's fought an inordinate number of southpaws. Inordinate. I believe the reason why he's fought a lot of southpaws is because he knows he has problems with dealing with left hooks up front from orthodox fighters who know how to throw that quick left hook. He would rather you be throwing that left hand from back here someplace rather than have it up front. Right? He had surgery 2 years ago to repair a tendon in his right shoulder. Line it up. His right shoulder's right across an orthodox opponent's left hook. Right? The same punch Floyd Mayweather used to take out Diego Corrales. Right? The same punch Floyd Mayweather used to dismantle Ricky Hatton. I believe as this fight goes along, that punch is going to be there for him. What Floyd Mayweather is banking on is that he puts on a show that makes people forget about the non-show. That was Mayweather-Pacquiao. Right? What he's hoping too is that the quality of the show is such that you're so blinded by what happens in the ring against Berto. In other words, I think Mayweather goes for a KO here. That you forget about the fact that he's fighting Berto. And he's not fighting Garcia. He's not fighting Brooke. He's not fighting Thurman. He's not fighting Lara. He's not fighting Andre. He's not fighting Khan. right? So I believe this is a statement fight, right? Floyd wants to leave the stage with you believing that he still has 4 or 5 years left in the tank, that he was dominant his first day in the ring, and that he's dominant his last day in the ring. Right now, this fight has some wrinkles. Let's address each of them. Right, first, most of the public believes that you're either on PEDs or you're not on PEDs. Right? You're either, doing it the right way or you're doing it the wrong way. Is it possible that there's a gray area? Is it possible that superstar fighters have hired nutritionists who know how to elevate testosterone levels just enough to give them an advantage, but not enough for them to fail a drug test? Right? If the testosterone, epitestosterone level is X, and if you're at X minus 1, is it cheating? You haven't triggered a positive test result, right? I'll leave that up to you to figure out. But understand that the same guy who helped Barry Bonds, he's a guy I follow on Twitter. He's one of the best sources on Twitter. On YouTube. He's one of the best sources, well, on both, in terms of discussing performance-enhancing drugs. He's Victor Conte, right? He helped Bonds. He's now helping Andre Berto. Now, my point to you is the average sports fan needs to understand that Victor Conte, Alex Ariza, Angel Heredia, right? You have very sophisticated strength coaches in the sport of boxing. Now, I'm not here to say anyone is doing anything illegal. But understand these guys have figured out, in a sport that really hinges on weight classes, how to have guys lose weight at the right time, to make weight and stuff like that. How to have guys, peaking the night of a fight. Right? Millions of dollars hang in the balance. You can imagine if Andre Berto beats Floyd Mayweather, he'll put his name in the history books just like Buster Douglas has. Right? His opportunities going forward would multiply tenfold. We would all be clamoring for an Andre Berto Floyd Mayweather rematch. Right? Berto might say, hey, you know what? Let me fight Manny Pacquiao. Let me fight other big names, Timothy Bradley, etc., etc. Right? Berto might even, backtrack and say, you know what? Soto Caras beat my behind. Let me get some revenge. Right? Understand, in this kind of environment where so much hinges on winning, the money that you pay your strength coach literally is chump change. So the guys using strength coaches are some of the biggest names in boxing. Right? Juan Manuel Marquez has used Angel Heredia in the past. Right? We know Manny Pacquiao was with Alex Ariza. We know Alex Ariza was with Floyd Mayweather. Just understand, Barry Bonds' former guy, Victor Conte, is with Andre Berto. Right? Here's the thing, though. While Conte can help Berto cut weight, while Conte might be able to help Berto with stamina, right? I'm not sure if Conte can help Berto block Floyd Mayweather's left hook. Right? I don't think Berto is the kind of guy who thinks about blocking a left hook for 12 rounds. Let me say this too. Berto is offensive, right? He's offensively blessed. He's a guy who comes in very fast hands, right? Very explosive. I encourage you to look at the Carlos Quintana film. Very explosive. He's able to just hit guys, the world changes, right? He's sudden, right? He has that gift, right? But while Berto's offensive, understand Floyd Mayweather is complete. He's offensive and defensive, right? Floyd's gonna know. In fact, it's something Floyd has done in fight after fight. He's gonna know how to dampen Berto's speed. Berto made a comment. He said, not since Floyd fought Zab Judah, very fast-handed guy, has Floyd fought a guy with my level of hand speed. Now, maybe my memory is failing me, but didn't Floyd just fight Manny Pacquiao? As you think back to that fight, you don't even recall Pacquiao's hand speed. It's such a non-factor because Mayweather figures out the angles at which you're throwing punches. He makes adjustments. He takes those angles away from you. Right? Let me say too, I know there are those of you who say, hey, Berto is now with Virgil Hunter. Right? Berto's been with Virgil Hunter for a while now. Virgil Hunter, of course, is the guy who has squired Andre Ward's career, right? Has helped Andre Ward develop into the complete fighter he is, right? Here's the problem with Virgil Hunter. Do you feel today that Amir Khan, who's been with Virgil Hunter, is a defensive wizard? Folks, boxing is like language, right? If you've been an offensive fighter who has been a little bit negligent on defense, because you haven't had to worry about defense, right? Your life has been, do unto others, and then they wilt, right? Trade with others. You're hitting them with 357 bullets. They're hitting you with 22s. You win the exchanges. Now, sure, you could sign up to go to Virgil Hunter, but understand, you're not going to pick up Andre Ward's defense. This is how Andre Ward learned the sport. This is how he's wired. When he sees certain things, he immediately thinks about certain things. Right? The great defensive fighters, they're always thinking of, oh, he does this, that, and the other. I need to do the other, this, and that to neutralize him. Right? They're setting it up. You don't become a defensive fighter in a matter of months. Right? You don't. I can't suddenly call up Virgil Hunter and say, hey man, you know what? I need to up my game defensively. I have a fight in 6 months. I need to defend myself like Andre Ward. Hop in the ring 6 months from now and think that you're magically going to have those defensive skills. So I know there are a lot of prognosticators here online who say, oh, he's with Virgil Hunter. Oh, he'll be ready. Yeah, right. Folks, it's August. The fight's in September. Right? I mean, let's be real here. Understand, too, Virgil Hunter has had some car crashes. Right? Wasn't that Amir Khan on the canvas against Julio Diaz? Wasn't that Brandon Gonzalez completely puzzled by James DeGale's ability to alter punches? Now, don't get me wrong. I consider Virgil Hunter to be one of the best trainers in boxing. My point is simply, it takes a while to pick up good habits, doesn't it? I can't call up Robert Garcia or Nacho Beristain and then suddenly learn all their teaching and get hit in the mouth during a fight and still have my game together. That's just not the way the world works. Great trainers can only take you so far. Now, it's different if I've been with Robert Garcia from day one. right? Then when I'm in the ring, you know what? The foundation he's teaching is part of my game, right? But if I met Robert Garcia 8 months ago, and then I'm with him, and of course I've nursed injuries, and I haven't really been able to, do the things he's teaching, then I sign the big fight. Let me just say I'm not going to be ready. Let me go one step further. Knockouts cause amnesia. We watch fights. One guy's looking subpar. Oh, he gets the knockout. Right? We forget everything else in the fight. It goes down as a KO. We say, hey, he did get that KO. Life continues. Right? To the victor goes the spoils. Right? The winner is the one who gets the opportunities. Okay, fair enough. Just know this. Andre Berto was in a dogfight against Josecito Lopez his last fight out. That was a dogfight, folks. How much of a dogfight? Andre Berto's losing on 2 of the 3 judges' scorecards. At the time of the stoppage, I believe one of the judges has Lopez winning every round. Now, of course, Andre Berto gets the stoppage, and even the stoppage is dodgy. Right now, maybe I'm old school, but, to me, a guy can be dazed, he can be buzzed, right? And he can still be able to come back in a fight. My own personal belief, you look at the film yourself, is that Lopez gets a bit shortchanged in that fight. But let's just say this. Okay, Berto gets the KO. Am I supposed to feel reassured that Berto was able to get the KO in a fight in which he was losing? Losing like that? Come on, man. I mean, all I'm saying is, if you think about the fact that before the Lopez fight, Berto had lost 2 of his last 3 fights. Then he goes into the Lopez fight and he's losing on 2 of the 3 judges' scorecards. When he gets a KO in the 6th round, right? No, I'm not reassured when he's about to face the best fighter of his generation. Right? No, that's not the kind of background that has me thinking, oh, Berto has a chance in this fight. Berto's on the top of his game. Now contrast that with Floyd Mayweather. How many rounds did you really give Manny Pacquiao in that last fight? Right? That fight's so lopsided, Pacquiao's complaining about a phantom shoulder injury or a long-standing shoulder injury. Right? One that he apparently didn't even tell the State Boxing Commission about until moments before the fight. Think about that. Right? So Floyd's at the part of his game where he's able to fight Manny Pacquiao and have Pacquiao look as bad as we've seen Pacquiao look. Right? Post the KO by Marquez. Right? In fact, you take out the Marquez KO, right? And the other times Pacquiao's been stopped. Yes, folks, Tony Calpo stopped Manny Pacquiao. You take out the losses Pacquiao's had by KO, and Pacquiao's never looked as bad in his life as he looked against Floyd Mayweather. That's where Mayweather is right now. I would argue that Andre Berto is not there. Right? So, with Victor Conte, with Virgil Hunter, in my opinion, Mayweather still has a decided advantage. Just food for thought. Right? So, I think Mayweather wants to give you a show on his way out the door. He wants to leave you with a memorable fight where, as he leaves the ring, you think to yourself, there goes the best fighter that ever lived. Right? So he's picked an opponent who, quite frankly, cannot keep it together defensively for 12 rounds. Not only that, apart from Berto's right shoulder problem, there have been Berto fights. Look at the Victor Ortiz fight. Look at the Robert the Ghost Guerrero fight, where Berto's eyes swell up, where Berto can't see clearly. Could you imagine his eyes swelling up against really the most accurate fighter fighting right now. Look at the CombiBox numbers on Floyd Mayweather's accuracy. Against world-class competition, Mayweather's landing 50% of his KO punches. Understand, this fight is the kind of fight that could be stopped in a myriad of ways. Left hook, Berto could go down just like he did against Soto Karass. When Berto got off the canvas, did you feel that he looked like a guy with good recuperative skills? Right? There's always the possibility, too, that a sharpshooting Mayweather puffs up Berto's eyes. Right? Berto can't see. It starts to look ugly. The referee, realizing that Berto's in trouble, pulls the plug. Right? So, this fight's going to have an interesting opportunity. I haven't seen the odds yet on Floyd by KO. Let's say I'm interested right now on August the 7th, 2015, in Mayweather to win the fight. What else is new? Right? Isn't that young man's entire career? Mayweather to win the fight. Enhanced, in part, with a portion of the bet on Mayweather to win by KO. Right? The idea is, if I bet X to win Y, right, on Mayweather just to win, why not put the Y or half Y on Mayweather by KO just to enhance the rate of return? This way, if Mayweather wins, look, I'm hedged. I'm not going to lose any money. But if Mayweather wins by KO, then I'm ahead of the game. Significantly so. Anyway, that's how I see the fight. I don't think Berto's going to be able to land on Mayweather. Didn't Robert the Ghost Guerrero go 12 rounds with Andre Berto? That Soto Karass, TKO, didn't that happen in the 12th round? Skilled fighters, Victor Ortiz, didn't he go 12 rounds against Andre Berto? I don't think Berto is going to be able to stop Mayweather. I think Mayweather has a chance to stop Andre Berto. Right? I think Andre is going to remember defense early in the fight. No question about it. You get to the middle rounds, I'm telling you, his defense is going to start to fall apart. Right? That's when the fight will get interesting. Let me say this too. Berto has a problem with pacing, doesn't he? You look at his fight against Victor Ortiz, that's an all-out war. You look at his fight against Robert the Ghost Guerrero, that's an all-out war. You look at his fight against Jesus Soto Karass, that's an all-out war. Now, I know there are many of you who are going to say, hey, that shows he's a warrior. Look, man, I'm a gambler just trying to make money. Right? When I see a guy in war after war, to me, that tells me he's not in control of the pacing of a fight. I'd rather be bored to death and win bets than to be completely titillated and, he lost to Guerrero, but it was a good fight. He lost to Ortiz, but it was a good fight. He lost to Soto Karass, but it was a good fight. Look, man, I'm trying to win. This is the gambling part of the internet. Right? I'm not just trying to be entertained. I'm trying to leave the casino with some Lucci. Right? So to me, Berto has a problem with pacing. I think Mayweather is going to be in total control. I believe this is a showcase fight for Floyd. I think the odds are going to reflect that. I believe the value here is going to be in enhancing the bet by putting a portion of it on Mayweather by KO. Let me hear from you. Leave your comments for me here online. Visit us at gamblersadvisory.com. Thanks for stopping by.